Greetings. This is podcast number 18. Say it with me. Rejoice. 18. 18, they said from the streets. In glory. Praise his name. It's podcast 18. That's what people might do if they lived in a world where they worshipped podcasts. And I think as soon as... Well, I don't know. I don't think that world is any time in the near future. I don't feel like it is anyway. But it is Friday evening. It's 5:33 p.m. and I am getting the F out of Dodge. I'm finished work for the day and I've had enough. So I've clocked off like Fred Flintstone sliding down the back of a brontosaurus. And I'm glad to be doing it too because it's time for the weekend and it's been getting cold. It's grey, it's dreary, it's definitely chilly. There's a real chill in the air, and because of that, and because of the recent shitness in weather, I've really eased off on the lunchtime workouts. I did have a minor hip injury from wrestling a couple of weeks ago, where my my hip flexor got strained a little bit, and it was inflamed, causing me problems. So I eased off on the gymnastics training, but I kept doing jiu-jitsu. And yeah, it's just about coming back right now, you know, where it feels pretty good and pretty strong. But the weather's been so cold, it's made it quite unappealing to go out and brave the cold. But I just need to stop being such a little puff and get out there and get on with it, get on with my business. Otherwise, I'm going to lose all the fantastic progress that I've made over the last 8 months. And who wants that? I'll tell you who gives a fuck. Guess where we are, guys? Guess where we fucking are? The roundabout of doom that always gets me. Sorry if that hurt your little eardrums. Please accept my apologies. So, on this day, well, I don't know if it's on this day, but in the last couple of days, evil, well, I don't know if he's evil or if he's the victim of propaganda, but Vladimir Putin, former KGB guy, I don't know if he was I think he was the head of the KGB, but he has been launching missiles into Syria like it's nobody's business, like it's his business, and he's making every attempt to wipe out ISIS. Interesting, like he's been launching missiles from the Caspian Sea off the coast of Iran, going through Iranian airspace, and according to the Russians, they've accurately hit every target intended. I don't know how many missiles they've launched, but they've launched a shitload, and they've just demolished a bunch of strategic ISIS bases and I guess like important targets. But the US have come out in the last couple of days and they're saying that the Russian missiles are not hitting any significant targets. The Russians are hitting significant targets. It's hard to know who to believe in these kind of these war games. Would you call it Patriot games? Is that what you call it? I don't even know. I was just hoping that I could use that phrase, Patriot games. But that's what's going on there. I think it's pretty, like, there's an element of coolness to it, I think, you know, and that's just me being very narrow-minded and uneducated on global politics, but that Putin just decides, you know, I've had enough, I'm gonna fucking toast these fools, and then just sends in major missilage and just fucking blast them. And then you wonder about, like, the strategy of ISIS. Like, what was is their plan? I mean, this is so ridiculous. Like, I'm pontificating about the military strategy, and I have no fucking clue about what either side have or have not in terms of resources or plans. I have no idea. But I do wonder if, you know, ISIS, because they don't really have rules of engagement, well, I guess they do actually. They've got some kind of like old school, at least they used to anyway. They used to have some interesting rules of engagement, but I wonder if like Putin is just like, well, no, fuck you. If you're going to play if you're not going to play by the rules, then I'm not fucking playing by the rules. And then he just like, I know he sent in a bunch of specialist Spetsnaz guys in there to also drop some bodies, John Rambo style. And you know those guys mean business. So that's what's been going on. That caught my eye this morning. I thought that was kind of an interesting one. It is pretty scary how much control ISIS have been able to generate and how successful their propaganda campaigns are, especially for like mining supporters from the developed world. It's something that I don't really understand, and it confuses me as to how you have, like, you know, people who've been educated in the West buying into this crazy bullshit. It's crazy, yeah. I don't understand it. But nonetheless, it's happening, and we'll see. The next few days or the next week or so will be interesting. But like, it also, I mean, it's important to remember that the US tried to bully their way through Middle Eastern problems, like, you know, for the last fucking 10 years, 15 years, and, you know, it was pretty much a complete flop. That place is just, it's been a war zone for 1,000 years, and to think that you can just send in a few missiles and like calm them down is fucking ridiculous. But look at me, that's coming from zero experience in the military and even less experience as the president of a superpower. So it is what it is, folks. I am planning on having a little birthday dinner tonight. There are joint birthdays occurring. So my lovely girlfriend Lacey has hers. Well, that was officially last night, but we're going to go for a nice dinner tonight. And the Master of Disaster, aka Turkey, aka the Big Nasty, aka the Principal of Hate, Dex Staunton, is going to be there too, and I'm looking forward to seeing him and shooting the shit. In terms of the new phone, I know people want to know what first impression. What's the first impression? I'm pretty happy. It's quite a change from Apple to Android, so I'm still trying to figure out like all the little nuances in the menus and how shit works. It's kind of confusing. The Apple interface, I don't know whether I was just used to it or it actually is genuinely simpler. I think at this stage, it is simpler, but I mean, simpler does not mean better. So I'll give myself a little while, and there'll be a little learning curve, but we'll see what kind of audio quality comes out of this baby. It's hard to know. I mean, you have to remember that you have to factor in the ambience of the car engine and the sporadic indicating that I do when I reach junctions or switch lanes. So if we're going to do a tech review here, this is going to be a tech review edition. So far, initial impressions, I should have done an unboxing video, but so far, initial impressions, I am going to give the phone nice screen. I'm going to give it like, man, I got to give it a good 8.5 to 9 right now, and I'm sure it's going to get better as I actually figure out how to use it. The camera is very, very good. It feels a bit big in my pocket, and there is some concern that it might fall out of my pocket, especially if I'm boozed up and I'm performing an athletic movement. But, you know, tonight and tomorrow night will be good indications of that. And hopefully I've got my head screwed on and don't lose my new fucking phone, or else I'll be the chump, or else I'll be calling up Vladimir Putin to launch some missiles at me for being a featherhead. So we'll see. Anyway, take a good attitude into this weekend, and use said attitude to fuel your decisions. Make them just and make them impactful. And We'll see you next time for podcast number 19. We're getting closer. Say it with me. Closer. Okay, be good. Peace out.